I've asked the Rams to pay me the same salary that other successful running backs are now being paid. As soon as the Rams Vice President John Shaw has agreed to extend my contract for 3 years, I will join the Rams in training camp.
Since he arrived in L.A., Eric Dickerson was perceived to be tight with a buck, the man from Sealy, who kept his money hidden under a mattress.
Eric is cheap. Eric is, let's find another word. Eric ain't gonna spend no money.
Well, he was called a lot of things. Squeaky, tight pockets.
Jack Benny. Jack Benny, I know, I heard it all, man. Look, I wasn't making a lot of money. You know, I couldn't buy all these extravagant gifts. But, you know, I would share the wealth a little bit.
Now, like, I remember when he gave us the stainless steel Rolex. See, I'm still wearing my stainless steel Rolex. Stainless steel Rolex.
You know, he gave me one too.
Yeah, this is when he set the rookie rushing record. And then, of course, the very next year, he set the 2,105 yards, the single season rushing record, you know.
After rushing for nearly 4,000 yards in his first 2 seasons, Dickerson felt he was in line for a raise.
He deserved to be the highest paid running back, and he wasn't. He was like maybe 8th on the list.
I mean, I'm still happy to be playing with the Rams, but I don't want to be a fool either. I have to look out for Eric.
Man, I never went a whole lot. I didn't want to, but it wouldn't bug. Man, the Rams were cheap, but they didn't have no money.
They didn't have any money?
Found that out later. I met the banker that used to bank for the Rams. He said, one time Jim Everett came in to deposit a check and it bounced. You know, the Rams are always shifting money around.
We learned later how much pressure John Shaw was under. I mean, because the Rams didn't have money to give. I mean, they didn't have it.
Totally untrue. Totally untrue. It's a system that was difficult for players. There was no free agency. So the club had most of the negotiating advantage.
It almost became like a joke to them. Because, you know how they had it. They had us all over a barrel.
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything. Like, what you gonna do? Sit out? Okay, go sit out.
The holdout lasted 47 days. Dickerson took a beating in the press.
I mean, I got so much hate mail. Call me greedy, ingrate, you know, N-word, all that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, it was difficult. My mother hated it. I won't forget her saying, she'd say, I hate that you even show them your talent. They don't deserve it.
I think we won the first 2 games without Eric, and I think that helped to get him back. You know, I mean, they could win a game or 2 without me, you know, but we would have won many more.
Dickerson returned in week 3 to lead the Rams to their only division title of the decade and a playoff rout of the Dallas Cowboys.
That's a nice piece of running showing you, look at this and take that. He had a cornerback trying to get to him, but he just put it down into another gear. That's fun to watch. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you something. They call that play.
Dickerson set an NFL playoff record with 248 yards rushing. Former teammate Craig James was there to see it.
I have no idea how we worked this out, but we're playing out there at the Raiders, and Eric was playing, and I guess Anaheim. And basically, Eric left me tickets, and 2 or 3 of my teammates and I went to watch him play. And he ran for 250 yards a day. I mean, he was like, well, I was watching him play at Sealy again.
Peter Brock turns down and pitches off to Dickerson. Oh, hard right, at the 40, 35, 30, down to the 20, the 10, down to the 10, the 5, touchdown! Oh, did he do that? Yes!
So I remember saying, hey, take care of your business, man, because if we can win next week, you guys win next week against Chicago, we'll play in the Super Bowl. Man, how cool would that have been?
We always say that would have been the greatest thing.
Chicago got us both, though.
Yeah, Chicago got us for sure.
There were too many guys wherever Eric went. We didn't have the right plan. No one had the right plan against the Bears that year.
In 1986, with Steve Bartkowski, Steve Dills, and rookie Jim Everett splitting time under center, the Rams relied on their superback more than ever. Dickerson delivered with 431 touches for over 2,000 yards from scrimmage.
Houston Dickerson wants to throw a pass out of the money and David Hill in the end zone. For the touchdown.
Having Eric back there was just so comforting. My first game, you know, I threw for touchdowns.
downs in the snap. Eric quietly just had another 100-yard game. That's just Eric just having 100. It's like, that's a big deal. But for Eric, it's like, you mean he didn't get 200? What was wrong?
I heard that all the time. You know, he makes it look too easy. He doesn't run hard. It was always a slight on me.
Dickerson played under expectations usually reserved for a quarterback. In the playoffs against Washington, he rushed for 158 yards, but he fumbled 3 times, and for what seemed like the first time, was caught from behind.
Darrell Graves on Dickerson and presented an 80-yard touchdown run.
I think one thing y'all got very spoiled to having 2,000 yards and 1,800-yard seasons, and hey, you know, that's just not possible every year, I don't think.
In '85, the Rams had only extended Dickerson's contract. Now he wanted a new one that would reflect the value of the team's most valuable player.
I told John, I said, I'm your quarterback right now. We don't have one.
It's just like you're in the first year of an extended contract. We're never going to redo this right now.
I said, John, I led the league in rushing this year. No, you didn't. Walter Payton did. I said, John, I led the league in rushing. No, Eric, I'm still making fun of him. No, Eric, literally argue over it. He said, let me get the book out. I just wanted to choke him. So he goes, oh, you did. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Finally, that offseason, Dickerson demanded a trade. The Rams refused, at first.
Things got done for Eric, not because of Eric's agent, but because of Eric's mouth.
See, one thing about me is I'm not a bull. If you don't want to know the truth, don't ask me. They asked me how I feel about my contract. I said I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with the team. They asked me about John Robinson. I said, let him run 47 gap. I said, you know, he making more money than me. Let him run it. And that hit the paper, and it was like, let John Robinson run 47 gap.
If he was directing any verbal abuse at me, he can always live with that. But it became Eric, who was the heart and soul of the team, stepping away from the team, and the team had to go on.
The Rams were on the verge of the unthinkable. Eric Dickerson was on the block. Coming up.
You're worth 3 number 1s, 3 number 2s, and 2 other running backs?
Well, I don't know. That's a lot, isn't it? We just have to wait and see.